Okay. We got some music. Bring it in. Do the thing. Get happy with it. You're listening to and watching, hopefully, on YouTube, the TripBee Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Adelaide Braddock, and CEO of TripBee.
I'm the other host, your nanny, CEO of TripBee.
There you are. Turn that down just a pinch.
Just a skosh.
Just a skosh. All right, where did I put your... Oh, I lost your form.
You lost the bio.
I lost the bio.
You lost my bio already. Wow.
Holy crap.
I just got here. We are talking today...
To our very first victim.
To our very first...
There you go.
Our very first interview victim.
I love it. I love it. It's amazing. This is Mr. Seth Goldstein. The one, the only.
You can't replicate this one.
The forever. Seth Goldstein.
How's it going, guys?
It's going great.
Nice. Going nice.
I'm honored. I'm the first guest.
This is amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No pressure, right?
You are. Well,
we're experimenting on you. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be amazing.
Oh, that's kind of creepy, Jim.
Oh, wait. Do I have control of your volume this time? Because you were really quiet when you interviewed me.
No, he sounds gorgeous.
I'm not talking about him.
Oh, me. I was really quiet.
Ellie just hits the mute button on me whenever she needs to.
Mic settings.
Am I quiet now, or am I good now? I can adjust it on my side.
No, I can adjust it on my side.
Ooh.
Do
I sound okay on your side before you edited that?
There we go.
Oh.
Now you sound
Miss Fancy. Miss Fancy
I'm
Pants.
Miss Fancy. I'm Miss Pants.
Miss
I am
Pants.
Miss Fancy. I am Miss Pants. Last name Pants.
We
First
already
name
know.
Fancy.
There you go. I can also adjust it on my side too, so this is fun.
Miss Fancy Pants. We have Seth Goldstein. So Seth is the principal and co-founder over at Goldstein Media.
Yes.
He is our newest and closest friend.
Aww.
Seth's awesome. So you've had your own podcast now for how many years? Because this is
I've done this podcast, Entrepreneurs Enigma, for about a year and a half. But I've been podcasting since 2010. So I've had a bunch of social media podcasts. I had Digital Marketing Dive, it's kind of still out there. It's still on the Marketing Podcast Network, but it's not actively in production. That's had 3 seasons.
Wow.
So that was like 80 episodes. I'm like 150 with Entrepreneurs Enigma, and that's just going strong. I had Addie on the podcast. I'm currently editing it.
For content or length or
probably both. Addie,
it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff.
You guys successfully only dropped one F-bomb, and that might not have even been during.
No, you didn't. You actually did not curse on the podcast at all. It was shocking.
Well,
nicely done.
All right. You should be proud, Jim.
I'm impressed.
Right.
I'm impressed.
All right, quick question: Is he showing up a little pixelated for you, or is that just me?
He looks gorgeous.
I just want to make sure you look okay, because we want to see your face. You're really the focus of attention here.
I don't like that.
Moving around, messing up my bandwidth.
I can like turn off my camera. And
I'm kidding.
We don't have to worry about it.
Not the point. No, we got this. So, okay, we have you on today. We wanted to talk to you about a few things. We wanted to talk about your travel experiences first and foremost. This is really cool. So you have been a few places. Do you want to talk a little bit about where you've been?
Well, in stateside, I didn't even mention this. I've been as far west as Yellowstone.
Okay.
As high up as Vail, I guess it's the highest, or the mid divide down the middle of the country. I think it's 8,000 feet. My at that point, my 9-month-old child did not like it and was vomiting the whole trip. So that was
sounds
fun.
about right.
I was that child.
That was fun. That was fun. I'm sure he'd do better now. He's 10 now. So did that. Went out to Yellowstone. Did that in high school. I did that one in high school. I've been all over Vermont. I mean, my family we're big Vermonters. We're not beach goers. Like a lot of people in Philly are like, we go down the shore. But I can't stand this. I can't stand sand. I hate sand. I hate sand. It gets everywhere you don't want it to be. It's the opposite of Visa.
True. Can't confirm.
It's the opposite of Visa. Bad joke. But yeah, anyhow. So and then abroad, I've been all around the Mediterranean. I've been to Italy twice. I've been to Krakow, Poland. I've been to Auschwitz. You kind of got to do that when you're in Poland. Been to Czech Republic or Czechia, wherever they're going by nowadays. I think their name is I can't do it. So I just call it Czech Republic. I apologize to all the Czech people out there.
I always called it Czech Republic. I mean,
the Czech
and I've been
Republic.
to Slovakia. I can actually claim that.
I was across the river from Slovakia. I threw a rock into Slovakia from the Czech Republic. I was in.
You started in international traveling. Great.
Yeah, I was in Moravia. I was in a town called Hodonín, where my cousin was doing a Fulbright, and it was literally right on the river between Slovakia and the Czech Republic.
That's awesome.
So I literally was like, "Watch this, Mom," and I threw a rock into Slovakia. I'm like, I didn't pay duty taxes on that rock. I imported a rock into Slovakia.
No, you exported a rock.
Oh, I exported a rock from Czech Republic to Slovakia. I almost caused an international incident.
I love it.
But then I did Prague and stuff. Yeah.
Quick question about, okay, so you said you went to Krakow, you went to Auschwitz. You got to do that when you're in Poland. So why do you have to do that in Poland?
I'm a Jew.
Anyone listening to the podcast who's not
I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew.
Well, not even just if you're Jewish.
But even not if you're Jewish. I mean, it's something. It's history. It's something that's happened. And when you see all the smokestacks and the burnout stuff and the collapsed crematorium,
because these were concentration camps during
the World War II. It makes it even more real than just reading a history book. It's tough. Yeah. It's a tough experience. It's not something that it's fun. Yeah. It surprisingly for me was less hard than the Holocaust Museum in DC. That one I couldn't even make it through.
Really?
I couldn't make it through it. That was like that's a great museum, by the way. You should go there. Bring tissues.
Yeah.
Bring a whole box.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole backpack full of tissues because you're gonna need it. But then after all that, I went to Germany, the aggressors at that time. I love the Germans, but the funny thing about in Germany, in Berlin, every place there was something that happened during World War II, there's a memorial.
Oh wow!
Everywhere. So if something happened, if there was a Jewish baker at this spot before Kristallnacht, which is like when they broke all the glass and all that stuff. They own it over there.
The Kristallnacht was really the start of the rounding up of the Jewish people.
No, that was when they like looted and broke all the glass. Kristallnacht is breaking of the glass. The night of the broken glass, I think is what it means in either Hebrew or Yiddish. I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah. But Berlin was amazing. Back then they were trying to keep it from flooding, so there's pink pipes everywhere. Lord. But Berlin's so much fun. I mean, and it's such a difference. I mean, Krakow, no one spoke English. So we had to eat Italian because we could understand the Italian menu. Okay. Because you can read the Italian menu, you can read the Italian. Yeah. Don't even try to understand Polish. It's like
there are a lot of
it's not in Cyrillic. It's in Roman.
It's a Roman
Arabic alphabet. It's a Roman alphabet, but it is not a Roman alphabet. It is like whoa, that's a lot of consonants.
I had that same.
It's the exact opposite of Addie with all her vowels.
A lot of K's and Z's to start
and
words.
Z's with like lines through it, and it's like what?
You're just constantly wandering around looking if you can buy some vowels. Is that?
Yeah, and even if you can read it, you pronounce it. You're not. Even if you can read it, get it out of your vocal cords. You're not saying it right.
That was literally my experience in Czech Republic. I went to Prague years and years ago.
Czech's even worse.
I know.
Czech's worse. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful language, but it's like. It's more of a Romance language than a Slavic language.
There.
And it's pretty.
So beautiful there.
But
it emulates really everything about like the architecture and the people.
It wasn't bombed during World War II. Surprisingly, we managed to not bomb something for once. And I think it was us. I think we're the ones that didn't bomb them. They actually survived. I mean, the shit was bombed out. Can I curse?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, the shit was bombed out, and it's not really a bad curse. But it was
we'll believe it later.
The kids in our family absolutely curse.
Exactly, but the shit was bombed out of it. I mean, so it's all new. I mean, but the thing about that, I went to the Pergamon Museum in Berlin.
Okay.
And all those antiquities, somehow we managed to bomb around that museum. I mean, this is before we had guided. We had better luck with unguided dumb bombs during World War II than we do now. And we're not going to get into a political conversation with the Pentagon. We did that yesterday when we hung out, but we're not going to do that now. But then later on, when I was in college, I went to study abroad in Italy for a month. That was a blast.
Where were you?
I drank myself through Italy. Literally, I don't think I was sober one day.
So you were in Peroni. Is that?
No, it was wine and Peroni and Irish pubs. Literally, it's the land of Irish pubs. Italy. Oh, Italy's all the
Irish
wherever you get good beer.
Man, you know this. Like Irish pubs are all over the world.
No. I'm just like I'm just kind of like, you know.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Irish pub in China.
I'm not saying that there are
Irish pub in China.
I'm like, hit the Italian locals.
No, but the Italian locals go to the Irish pubs because I mean, Peroni is only good beer. It's only good beer in Czech Republic. I mean, not Czech Republic, in Italy.
So how long ago was your most recent trip?
Most recent trip that wasn't Vermont? I go to Vermont every year. Every year I go to Vermont. My mom has a house up there, and I went up last September. I said, I'm taking 4 days off of work. Mom, I'm just coming up to hang out and decompress. It's kind of funny. I went up to my mom's to decompress. But but it was more like I needed to decompress from work and hang out. And Mom and I are very close, so we we hung out. She had a blast.
They can be at least, but
I worked a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. So that the Green Mountains. She lives on I didn't put that in the pictures I sent you, but they live on a ridge out overlooking 3 mountain ranges. It's freaking gorgeous. That's their backyard.
It's right here. I got a little chapel situation, but yeah.
And
so what's the driving like? Like you drive up there?
Yeah, it's 5 hours. I mean, on the way back, I got a speeding ticket for going 100 on 202.
Is that why it's 5 hours?
I was making good time. I was making a little too good time, and my mom's like, "Where are you?" I'm about to cross into Pennsylvania. She's like, "You were going too fast." And then all of a sudden, a Jersey State pulls me over. They're like, "We're not going to give you a speeding ticket, but we're going around that truck at 80 miles an hour." I'm like, I was passing them, and she's like, "Well, don't argue with me. I'm not going to give you points."
Yeah.
She's just like, "Here's a $55 ticket. Do not argue it. I do not want to see you in court. I'll find a way to make you more money because I don't want to waste my time here."
Right.
She's like, "Here's a $55. That's the cheapest speeding ticket I've ever gotten in my life."
That's amazing.
She's like,
I don't know the last time I got a speeding ticket. I've actually done pretty well for myself lately.
You have. I'm proud of you.
It used to be like a quarterly event for me.
Oh yeah, mine's about yearly. Every year I get it. When I get the stink eye from my wife.
That's amazing. So you drive up to Vermont. It's about 5 hours. You go in the wintertime. You do skiing. You do.
I have gone in the wintertime. I don't ski, but I've gone in the wintertime. During COVID, we went up there because like it's the best place to be during COVID because there's no one around you. We went up in the winter. That was fun. We went sledding and stomped around the snow and just hung out. And they have a generator, which most of Vermont does not have a generator, but my parents were smart enough to put a generator in. So when the rest of the towns out of electricity, we still have electricity. So
is that a common thing?
No. You go down to the supermarket, and if they have power, everyone's in there getting stuff because they don't have power, and all their stuff went bad. But the biggest trip I went on was with my wife before we had our child. We went on a Mediterranean cruise. Yes. Started in Barcelona, ended up in Nice. Went down to Tuscany, Rome, ended up in Sicily, and you guys disappeared, which is very eerie.
I know you're like freaking out. Okay.
I'm the only one on screen, and I'll keep on talking, and because I'm very good at talking. And we ended up in Palma de Mallorca, which is an island in the Mediterranean. Ended up in Marseille, which was nothing against the people of Marseille, but that place is garbage.
Oh God.
It was not a fan. After all of France, that's not the place to hang out. So,
really?
It was just dirty. Marseille was just dirty and dingy, and it wasn't my favorite place. But Barcelona was incredible.
Barcelona is insane. I actually wanted to start there because Jim and I used to live in Barcelona, and so
you lived in Barcelona.
Yeah.
With Gaudi everywhere. You feel like you're tripping every time you walk by one. You feel like you're tripping on like mushrooms or something because it's like, whoa.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting. Well,
he was probably tripping on mushrooms when he did that. He was probably microdosing.
I have to imagine. Well, we were right off the Ramblas, but we have an experience. It was pretty funny. We were my dad decided he wanted to walk the Camino de Santiago, and so we were getting him started because he doesn't speak Spanish. So we did the first like 2 week, 100 miles with him, and we were coming through the Pyrenees on like day 1, and we had lost the trail, and it's not hard to do in this one section because it actually is just a little cutaway off the road. There's a big road that goes through the Pyrenees. So you're walking alongside the road, but you have to know where to look to like find. And they marker it pretty well. But I just got
in Spanish.
Is it here? No, they're yellow arrows.
Yeah.
So you follow the yellow arrow. They're ubiquitous. So you follow this. So we kind of followed this thing. I was like, is that where the trail goes? And there was this guy on like a Sunday drive with his family. And he was walking around. He had his hand, he was like picking stuff out of the ground. He had his hand full of stuff. And he sees me and he kind of puts his hands behind his back, very like, not like very nonchalantly, just like, okay, like, how are we doing? And I said, we're fine. And I said, is this where the trail goes? And he said, yes, it is. And he said, where are you from? And I told him, and we chatted for a minute, as I'm wont to do with people. And so at the end of the conversation,
you know,
he talked to strangers even. That's bizarre. But he, so we were parting ways, and I said, and in Spanish, the whole, I've been talking to him in Spanish, and I turned around, and I said, enjoy those, by the way. and he pulls his hands out and he looks and he goes, thank you. Walked off.
I'm sure he was
his whole family was out there picking mushrooms off the sheep crap up in the Pyrenees.
Oh, and he didn't want to be caught doing that.
It was so funny. I was like, is this just like a family experience? Are you all going to go home and trip together? That is amazing. Like, yes, please.
Family that trips together,
off of sheep shit.
Something off of sheep shit. It was phenomenal.
Wash those things first, thoroughly.
Here we go.
There it is. Yeah. I put that in there because that's the tourist bus that we did not take. We walked everywhere, but
we didn't take the tourist bus. But you know what? It's very easy.
We weren't tourists.
Yeah. Well, no. Smart ass. It's very easy to walk around Barcelona. I think anyway.
We got off a flight and we were out.
We're gonna see if I actually got the pictures right for the location.
Yeah, this is a quiz. Yeah.
This is the Barcelona folder. So so we have the Barcelona tour bus. This one is. Tell us what this is.
I have no idea what that is. It's a random gallery building in Barcelona.
I think that's Casa Batlló.
It is Casa Batlló. Yeah, the name is actually.
There you go. Yeah. See, I just know it's a random building that looks fun.
It was really. So what was your experience?
It has bone windows.
It does. It's wild. He was very fascinated with human bodies and incorporated a lot of their stuff in there. So like, tell me your experience here. What was Casa Batlló like?
It was like, what the hell is that? I think we were jet lagged at this point. We had just flown over from the States, and we had been up for like 16 hours, and we were like, whoa, that is Gaudi, and that is weird. I mean, it looks weird in the picture. It's weirder in real life. It's like
it really is.
It's very trippy.
It's very nice.
It's very trippy. So, and then this is some more views of it. How literally it's a concrete, and then even the inside, there's a giant mushroom stove. It's like, what the?
Or
I was gonna say,
or we'll leave that one alone. Think what a mushroom looks like. Addy. No.
What?
And then they had this inside atrium, which I thought was really cool. Like how he had when this opened up to a middle square-ish, nothing square Gaudi's thing, but
which is very typical. The atrium is very typical of architecture in Spain in particular, where you have I've seen it in Mexico too, where you have like the center space in a building that's almost like its own little courtyard plaza situation. Exactly. And then the rest of the house is kind of built around that. I've always wanted to live in a place like that. I love that.
And then of course nothing's straight. So
of course,
good luck hanging a picture frame on any of these walls.
Now the floors are level though, right? Like you're not.
He did know how to level. I mean, he did. I mean, things on the walls, except for when they weren't. I mean, he knew how to build. So things that were supposed to be straight were straight, and those things that were not straight. But there's a lot of not straightness going on in this building.
Right. Okay, is this Barcelona?
This is still Barcelona. This is. I think we're I think we were on the bus at this time. I think we did get on a bus. I lied. We were on a bus at one point. And
you could have been on a city bus.
Probably.
It could have been a city bus. I don't remember. We were still tired at this point where our feet were hurting us, and I just thought it was a cool picture.
It is. It's a gorgeous space. This looks like not Plaza España. No,
I think it was.
I don't know. There is also like the walk. So when you go to get the Fargi, I remember this. They have gelato and such, and it's so good there. It's
not as good as the gelato by the Pantheon in Rome.
That do you know? I can attest to that.
I know it's kind of.
We have this shared experience.
It's right across the. It's literally you. If you're standing at the.
We went there.
My wife thought I was insane when I was in Rome because I stumbled around Rome drunk off my ass for a week. Once I crossed international borders drunk off my ass into the Vatican. I was drunk and I stumbled into the Vatican. I'm like, oh, I better not be here drunk. So I turned around. I'm like, hi,
Could you
Pope.
You have wine
I
there.
screamed, hi, Pope, and I ran the other direction. Well, stumbled.
That you saying that is so wonderful because that is a shared connection we have, and I freaking love it. I've had the gelato in Barcelona. I think at that Fargi, if I'm not mistaken, and I loved it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I absolutely had the gelato near the Pantheon in Rome.
Yeah, it's on the left side if you're facing
chocolate gelato, and I was enthralled. It was so good.
If the Pantheon is behind you, the front entrance of the Pantheon, you could look to your left. You go up that street.
Oh, I think mine was to the right. I think I went to a different.
Well, in Rome, there's pizza and gelato on every corner.
Yeah,
it's kind of thing. It's kind of their thing.
I'm kidding.
Chianti is everywhere. Like they give it to you for like
that's table wine.
It literally was. Yeah,
But it's so good over there. Chianti over here stinks.
This is the cathedral that everybody knows in Barcelona. That's always under
constantly.
It's called Sagrada Familia, Sacred Family.
It's gorgeous.
Is this the inside of it?
That's the inside of it, yeah.
I have to ask that because Jim and I actually never went inside of it while we were there.
What?
Yeah.
It is wild in there.
It was, for us, it was expensive because we were there. I was doing my master's degree, so I was a student, and he was not working under the table.
He was slumming it.
He was slumming it with me in Barcelona. So no, we never actually spent the money to go inside. We probably could have. I think it was like €18 a pop or something like that when we went there.
I can't remember, but yeah,
this would have been 10 years ago, 12 years ago now at this point. But yeah,
so you were over there. We're not, because this was 11 years ago. This picture.
Oh, wonderful!
It's 11 years because my kid's 10. So I was over there. Yeah, it was 2011. 2011.
That was when we left. So we left in October of 2011.
This was like.
Right.
This is right before that, and that's me and my wife, my beautiful wife.
We went at the same time. That's so cool.
This is the Park Well, which
now,
is, and we're getting photobombed by a guy in a green shirt, which I
love
just noticed
after
living.
Wait, nice.
He's even smiling for the camera.
What
was that? That's what I missed.
Because that might actually be me. Wouldn't that be funny if we like appeared in one of your photos?
Well, I'm good at Photoshop. I can make that happen.
That would be really great. So this is part Guay.
Sorry.
But no, that's because the double L. It's like a weird one. So Parkway does not matter.
I should, yeah.
Does not matter. Come on, y'all hear me being all pretentious and shit. No, it's fine. So what is Parkway?
It is a giant park in Barcelona, and it is all Gaudi all the time. And it's got the most gorgeous view of the city. If on the other way, like away from us, on the other direction, it's like you see across and you see the Mediterranean. Oh, it's incredible.
Sagrada Familia is right there in the foreground, and the old Olympic Park is right there, which is kind of neat too.
Yeah,
it's really like a different. You get all these little pockets of archecture on the skyline of Barcelona. It's really fascinating. I know this one. I know this one.
Isn't this the palace?
This is not the palace. Wait,
something official.
Yeah, this is a plaza with the governmental building. So you have
something official. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you have the seat of Catalonia on one side, and then you have the seat of Spain on the other. And
they don't get along.
No,
there's a lot of protests happening in this plaza. A lot of protests.
Is that Plaza Real?
Is that right?
I'm trying to think.
I know I can't remember the plaza names. We actually lived right around the corner from this, so we used to go there pretty frequently.
I love how their government buildings are so gorgeous and ornate. And if you go to DC, our government buildings are very modernist and
like brutalist.
Brutalist. That's it. Yeah, brutalist. Very.
But in fairness, theirs are also ancient.
Theirs are also ancient, and ours are also built on a swamp, and also would sink if they weren't built the way they were.
Also true. The interesting thing about this plaza is in the wintertime they set up a bunch of oh my god, this is so bad. Nativity scenes.
And you live there.
Could not get the word maternity out of my head. Nativity
scenes. Okay.
And what's great is well, if you ever go in December, and I highly recommend that people go because the weather is phenomenal in Barcelona year round. And December is big holiday season, so you get to see like all of the fun Christmas stuff. But there's a tradition of the caganer in Catalonia, which is, it literally translates to the shitter.
Oh.
And if you ever have seen pictures of this, and I highly encourage you to take a look at it, there is a dude in the mythology of Catalonia who saved the crops one year by pooping on them. And
fertilizer, it kind of makes sense.
Exactly.
He often makes an appearance in nativity scenes. You will see him pants down, turds a dropping next to the manger.
Wow.
Doing his thing. And it's phenomenal. It's one of the...
I would have thought that would be an Italian thing.
You would
or
almost
German
think
thing.
it is,
it's kind of that kind of mentality.
Catalans
kind of a dirty kind of sense of humor kind of thing.
They do. They don't take that kind of stuff seriously, and I love that. Oh, is that the end of it? Did I hit the end of your... Oh, I did.
No, that's the end of the initial.
Okay.
I think there should be more in there. There should be some... I put some Tuscany in there, put some Rome in there. That's just random food showing that, this is in Barcelona, that how like that's like lunch.
I thought this might be on your cruise ship, but I was curious. So what's
this is before the cruise ship. This is just some food showing how like it's very European looking. So I was like, I'm gonna put that in there.
It's
European food. And it makes you pee after you eat it. No.
So you have bocadillos, which are the sandwiches, which are great. Bocadillos in Spain are just so easy. It's just usually bread and like cheese or some meat or something like that.
It's just so simple. I have
so
no idea how much
delicious. Like it's as easy as it is. It's
it's absolutely phenomenal. It's crazy simple. It's like no special sauces or anything. They're just like, here's your sandwich and it's meat and cheese.
Right.
And bread.
It just works. It just works.
And it looks like you got some beautiful coffee going on here.
I don't know what that black.
What's this situation? Do you know?
I think that's a cookie. That's a cookie.
That's a cookie?
Yeah, it looks like a black and white without the white part.
Oh, it looks like a squid.
Or a squid. I honestly, we were dead tired at this point. I don't remember. I know it's also been 11 years. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, I bet it's one of those like the cinnamon spirals.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
So good. Okay. All right. So you have to eat in Barcelona. Okay. What is this?
I don't know why I put that in there, but that's our bathroom. I have no idea why it's in there. I have no idea why I gave you that photo.
So so European.
But it's a very, but if you go back, it is a very European. This is not a very fancy hotel, but it's all marble.
Is it foam that makes it European? What's
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why that one's in there. You can edit this part out.
You're in there, European.
Oh, done.
Yeah, European, exactly. And then this is looking out over the cruise ship. Yeah, I think this is still Barcelona, I think this is Barcelona. It looks like Barcelona.
Sure, why not?
It's a cool shot. I thought it was pretty cool with the cruise ship in the middle of the bay.
Beautiful. Look at that.
You know,
wow, I think that's it. Sits in that little harbor right there. It looks like it almost would.
Yeah, it's amazing how they get these damn things out of there.
Wow, right?
I think they go out. They have to turn them and then go out straight. But it's like,
I noticed something in this picture that's fascinating. So you see this little green situation here. That is a wastebasket, right?
Really?
In the corner. You see this right there? Like,
yeah.
It blows my mind that we don't have more of those dotting our cities.
Very
in
minimalist.
America.
Exactly.
Simple. It's a bit wild.
And then that's us in front of the boat.
Someday you'll have to tell me how you managed to land her, because I'm not seeing it.
I'm very fortunate. Yeah. Well, Jim's pretty good, fortunate himself.
I mean, come on, look at me.
What's your wife's name?
Meredith.
Meredith. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so Seth and Meredith.
Very, very much my better half. So
I love it.
And she'll probably kill me knowing that I put these photos in here without her approval. So
that is so funny. All
right.
So
it's the end of that, and there's still some more in there.
Now I guess
this is in Rome. This is the wedding cake.
Oh, is that what this is?
This is the wedding cake. This is the Victor Emmanuel monument. Okay. I can't believe I literally can't. I had no idea what this was. I knew it was a wedding cake, but I can't remember the name. But it's the Victor Emmanuel monument in Rome.
I remember there being a lot of pigeons outside that.
Oh yeah, they shit everywhere. Talk about European. It's not European. It's you're a shitting.
You're a pigeon. Oh.
You're a shitting. And if you eat the wrong food in Rome, you're a shitting too.
God.
So.
Oh God. Is it easy to eat the wrong food in Rome?
Not Rome. Not too bad.
Czech
Republic, you could. Yeah, Czech Republic and Poland. Poland's difficult because if you don't eat in an Italian restaurant where you can read the Italian menu, you have no idea what you're getting.
Yeah. Okay.
And they don't know how to explain it to you in English, so you're just eating it and hoping you're not going to be a shitting. So
is that not part of the fun?
It is, but it's kind of scary because literally Eastern European food is a little. I mean, I'm Jewish. I eat gefilte fish, which is essentially scrapple of the fish type.
Ooh. Yeah, you're gonna have to miss me with that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I like it, but depending on what kind. So, but it's an acquired taste. And this is the Pantheon. If you go if you turn around and go to the left, that's where my gelato shop is. If you go off to the right, that's where Addie's gelato shop is.
It may have been the same gelato shop.
It might have been. She might just be directionally challenged. So,
I do remember this being my favorite part of Rome. Like
the Pantheon.
I love Rome, and I did it all. We took the train in from the coast to go into Rome. We didn't use a map because apparently my brain. No, we didn't use a map. I knew where I was going.
Okay.
5 days in Rome, drunk off your ass. You know where? Apparently, I found the old pizza shop I used to hang, and the old Irish pub I used to hang out in college when I went there with my wife. I just knew where to go.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
All just pure memory from when you lived there.
Yeah, for that month. You know, for 5 days. For 5 days, I lived in Rome, out of a hotel, and just being drunk off my ass all the time. I apparently memorized the map.
That's amazing. Was it expensive?
Back then it was. It wasn't 1-to-1 or 1 to, you know, but I spent so much money when I was studying abroad. I went with 1 suitcase. I came back with 2, full of junk. I mean, I have books back here, like here. As you can see, I have all these art history books.
Oh my God!
Every town, every city I went in college, I picked up one of these books. I don't think I've ever opened this book.
That's most of the books that I own anyway.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Put that back there, but yeah, but seriously, I have all of them.
So it was a little more expensive back then because the exchange rate wasn't what it is now. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I just charged everything and dealt with it later.
We were just broke everywhere, so I couldn't like exchange rate.
But that's kind of the way to do Europe: is do it when you don't have a whole lot of money, or you don't know, or that you know you don't have a lot of money, because then you do what everyone does. You don't go to all the tourist spots that are charging arm and a leg.
Good point.
You have fun. But that's really the way to travel is kind of like when I went to Czech Republic, you know, Krakow and Germany, I went with a backpack with my mom. Because my mom and me, we went with a backpack with 3 days worth of clothing for a month. And we just washed our clothes in the sink. We went with like this camping clothes.
All right.
And literally we traveled light. No, I did not do that. I did not do that when we in college. We took a bus all around mainland Italy, and we had a bus. So why was I going to carry light?
Yeah,
I wasn't as bad as the Prada girls on the trip who took a special trip to the Prada factory. Like, hey, this is Delaware. These are a lot of New Yorkers coming down. So nothing against New Yorkers, but they're Prada people.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I love the sense of like going around and not seeing the uber touristy stuff on the basis of budget, but also just in general. Like even if you can't afford it, like go do
some local stuff. Yeah,
I'll make this point really quickly. The one thing I love telling people about Rome is my sister-in-law insisted on going there when she came to visit us in Barcelona, and I'm so thrilled she did because I never would have gone had she not. And
we couldn't have afforded it.
It was an amazing, it was.
Yeah, Rome's expensive. Rome is sort of like the New York of Europe.
There's
Milan.
Like I found us like a 3-star little hostel kind of space, like hotel-ish. Right in the middle of town, very, very inexpensive, right across the street, actually, from the tourist station where you can purchase, we found out, day and multi-day passes that will get you on a discount, the bus to get you around the city. So it's actually like a multi-day bus pass, and it's the normal bus that you would take with all the other people who live in the city. So you're getting the local experience, but it gets you into a certain number of places. And you can pick the ones you go to and how many you want to go to with the pass that you pay for. So it was like €85, for example, would get you 3-day pass on the bus and then access to the Colosseum, all
the Roman gladiators out front trying to get pictures with you.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. Like all that stuff. But otherwise you're paying for it a la carte, which gets can get very expensive very quickly. So this was a great option.
Speaking of hostels, I stayed, the president of Czech Republic during the Soviet times, he was in the prison in Prague. It's now a hotel. The last day we stayed in a prison cell next to his.
What?
My mom's like, this will be so much fun. We're going to sleep in the prison that Pavel was held.
Oh my God.
It's not, so literally I couldn't find pictures of this because that was back in the early aughts, and they're not digitized. But literally, this picture of this giant door that you shut to go to bed, and it's like you're locking yourself into a prison with a tiny little window. It was very disconcerting.
Cool. That's insanely cool. Well, speaking of the Coliseum,
speaking of an old picture, this is from college. I found one picture.
That's so great.
You can see it's all grainy because it's actually a 35 millimeter.
It looks exactly the same.
It looks exactly the same. You can even see some Roman gladiator down in the corner down there. I'm pointing, but you can't see. But there's a guy in a Roman.
Where is he? Down, maybe around.
Yeah, you can probably find him somewhere.
Somewhere. There's a police officer.
It's like Where's Waldo?
Probably like right around.
It's Where's Waldo, exactly. So it doesn't
like the guard, and you pay to take pictures. I don't remember. It's not a scam. I mean, it's really like people. You don't want to.
It's like taking pictures with the Elmo in Times Square.
Right. Like you can do it if you want to. You don't have to. Don't let yourself get.
But they harass the crap out of you.
Can once you get inside, they don't. There's no one in there.
They're not allowed. They're not.
Once
and you can't. I got screamed at in Italian because I was trying to use a selfie stick in the Coliseum. You're not allowed to because it's a weapon.
Oh.
They're like, Mamma mia! I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying, but I'm gonna put this thing away.
Ironic that there's no weapons allowed in the Coliseum.
It is kind of ironic, yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
So the Coliseum, tell us about your experience. Did you find it to be? I mean,
it's a wreck. Wah, wah, wah.
I mean, it's in ruins.
It's in ruins. That's the word. But it's just neat. I mean, I'm a history buff. I was a history major in college, and
you have to be a history buff to appreciate it. Do you think?
It's neat. It's sort of like what I love about Rome. It's like kind of Philadelphia. Like Independence Hall is just there in Philly. It's no big shit. The Coliseum, which is a lot older than Independence Hall, is just there. It's no big shit. Like literally, the roads go around the ruins that are in the middle of the road. There's a giant column in the middle of the road. We're not going to knock that down. We're going to go around it. So there's all these crazy Italian taxi drivers holding on for your life if you take one. I did. It was terrifying.
We did too. That was a good time.
They drive on the sidewalk.
They literally do.
And I'm not joking. They literally did. I used to sing Shotgun and I was drunk at the time.
I did the same thing. And you'd be sitting up there and you're like, yeah. And they'd be having whole conversations. You know how in the movies, like people will talk while someone's driving and they just look at each other the whole time.
And people are flying every which way off the sidewalk. And you're like, oh my God.
They actually, must be where they got inspired to do that because they.
Yeah, that's incredible. They're driving and they're like, watch out. And this is inside the Coliseum. So down below is where they would have, it was the staging area. And apparently you have 20 gigabytes of space on your desktop.
There you go. So
and it's this interior picture of the Coliseum. It's in ruins. It's actually relatively well kept. It's pretty well kept. I mean, if they want to renovate it, they could probably put it back together.
I've heard that they don't want to do that. That they want to keep.
No, they don't want to do it. They want to keep it this way because this is kind of a cool thing.
But they have models of it, so you can see there's a model of it in there where you can see what it would have looked like in its glory.
Yeah, I have a book back here that is like it's a color forms, and like you put over top of it, it shows you the ruins, and they put over a picture on top of it, shows you what the real Roy looks like.
Well, it's fascinating. Like this space down here, it looks so. It's the stage, right, where the stuff happened, and then underneath is like
where the lions were,
where they kept everything. Like
where the actors
actors,
gladiators. Gladiators.
Well, no, they had plays and such.
I think you're right, and they used to flood it and stage naval battles there.
Wow.
Yeah, they had naval battles. If you look at over in the corners, over in the side, you can see where they had ports for the water in.
Oh my God, that's wild. Is this over here in this?
Over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
insane.
wild.
Let's see if I can do. Okay, so now we're. I'm in full screen mode.
Difficulties.
I know. Oh, here we go. So what are we looking at?
This is an old picture of inside St. Paul's Cathedral. St. Paul, Peter Paul Matter. That's not. I'm Jewish. I don't know stuff. Thank you. But this thing does not do it justice because it is insanely big.
Yeah.
I mean the altar, or what us Jews would call a huppah.
Okay.
The Pope's huppah, which is kind of ironic, but like the big altar where it has like that little, what do you call it? Little canopy thing. I call it a huppah, but I'm guarantee you it's not a huppah, but is huge and it's tiny inside of here. You can see kind of the bottom down there. It's giant freaking enormous.
This is the main hall when you walk into the basilica, right?
Yeah, this is the main, and then the
all
cross.
These, like, offshoots of like
offshoots. Yeah, Catholics like their offshoots. Yeah. Catholics
but
like
they
their
have
offshoots.
saints buried in. I mean, they're in caskets. You can see them in these like glass caskets.
Yeah, or you're walking on, or it's like the
you're walking on somebody's body.
You're literally walking on a saint. Like they're like it's like the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. You're like, oh, there's Saint Mary, or I mean, it's Saint Mary, but Saint Catherine.
Very ornate in here. I actually had a bit of a struggle, having been raised Catholic. I had a bit of a struggle going in here because it was just so ornate. I was like, wow, this is.
It's over the top a little bit, yeah. In college, we had an audience with the Pope. Like we went to a huge audience with the Pope, and we stupidly did the wave when they pointed to us to do something. We did the wave to the Pope.
Well, that's so funny.
Yeah, our Italian teacher was not thrilled with us. He laughed. No, the Pope actually went like this, like.
Oh my God.
John Paul II just kind of shook his head.
That sounds like
Americans. Yeah,
okay,
that's a Swiss guard.
Okay.
They look even more ridiculous than the Queen of England's guards, but it's more Mediterranean. I'm sure it's a lot less hot than the hats the English guards have to wear. So
it actually looks like a soccer uniform.
It does. Yeah, because he probably plays soccer in the off season. Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see like the Vatican Swiss Guard football team out there dressed in some kit similar.
It just looks very Jester-ish to me.
It does, but apparently they're like special forces and they're like tough.
Yes, they're not to be trifled with. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I wouldn't want to
yeah,
I wouldn't want to mess with these people, but for sure,
And then that's the Amalfi Coast. We're down off of Naples.
Okay.
At this point I was pretty seasick.
Oh no.
Because the Mediterranean down there is pretty choppy, but that was us. After we left Capri, we went down that way to Amalfi. Positano was amazing. That's where the talented Miss Ripley took place down there. I've been to Sorrento down there. Been to Pompeii. I didn't put any dead people or penises up on the screen here. So, Pompeii. For a little background on that penis statement, we're not going to leave that one hanging there. The Romans, especially the Pompeians, loved penises. Their street signs were penises. No joke. There are street signs on the side of the door saying this street's this way. Is a giant penis going that direction.
Okay.
Oh, they were horny mother effers.
Did not know that.
Oh yeah.
Why is this suddenly not working? This was working so well before.
It was working so well.
It was working so well. We were doing so good.
Yeah. Black screen.
Let's do the thing. Let's try this again. Okay, here we go.
And then I think this is back in Barcelona. We're
jumping all over Mediterranean. I thought it might be Barcelona, and then I was like,
no, this is the theater. This is the theater.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's so gorgeous. It's like, and you see all the dead guys up top. Dead.
Mozart. No, I don't know who these people are.
No, that's Catalonian. Mozart people.
Kind of look like a Beethoven here on the far right.
Yeah, those are both Beethoven and some guy with a wig.
I think it's the wig.
Might be.
Some guy with a wig. Yeah. There are pictures. Yeah, there's another one. Same picture.
Come on. There you go.
This I don't know where that is. I think that might be Ez. I think it might be like or Monaco. That might be. Oh no, that's on the road into Monaco.
Oh. Okay. Did you drove
before from actually no, we were in Monaco. We had to drive to Nice from Monaco.
You driving or were you in
No, it was on a bus. And so we went that way and we went through the tunnel. All of a sudden you're in France.
I love the flora of the area.
Oh,
like
it's so gorgeous over there. Yeah.
It's very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously don't know why this thing's not. I'm gonna try reopening and see if I can get that. Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh, that might be why. Oh, I think that's what was going on here. Okay. It's fine. We can cut this. We can get it in post.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a lot of posts to do here. So, and then this is just a door in Ez with the person describing what the heck we're looking at. It's a door.
Easy shit.
No, it's Ez. This is an Ez. I think it's a chef justice of something. I don't know. I can't read.
I don't know.
House of Justice.
House of Justice. It might be the
I'm gonna
short.
Stop trying. I'm very bad at this, so I'm gonna.
Yeah. So then, if we move forward, because we're getting late on time here, this is Nice. This is where
It's nice.
The nice French people actually, I would go bonjour. That's all I got, and they go in English for me. But they were happy at least with bonjour, so that was nice. And then that's Monaco.
Oh,
we went for what? That's totally Monaco.
It doesn't look the way I expected it to.
It looks just like it does in Archer.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and that's the Casino Royale in Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Okay.
We're Bond. That's Bond.
Did you go in? Play some Baccarat? You didn't. Okay.
No, you never can afford that. That's a random. I don't know. Some dead people. It's a tower with some dead people on it. It's not a picture of.
Curious about this one.
That's Tuscany. You can tell by the trees.
Of course it is.
It's Tuscany. We're jumping. This is not an order of the trip, but it's Tuscany or Sicily.
Okay.
So there's a picture of us in the volcano crater on Mount Etna.
Could be the other. We don't really know.
It's definitely Italy though. So there we go.
It's Italy. That's all.
It's Italy. There's a amphitheater up there, which is cool. I think this is actually Sicily.
That is very cool. This actually kind of reminded me of Granada in Spain.
Granada's cool.
Oh,
yeah.
And then if we go forward some more here, that's us. Oh, this is in San Gimignano in Tuscany. San Gimignano. And it's literally would suck in COVID because you're literally on top of each other. It's like really lots of tourists, but it was fun. Yeah.
I almost wondered if it wasn't Barcelona just because the alleyways look very similar, but we lived in an apartment very similar to this. We had like a small balcony.
No, this is definitely Tuscany. Yeah, this is definitely San Gimignano.
Okay, what is this?
This is the crater of Mount Etna. The next year, this crater blew up.
I was going to say, it's active still.
It's an active volcano. Yeah, and they let people walk around it because it's Europe. They don't give a shit.
True.
Like, if it blows up, you just don't fall. Now this is Palma. Oh, then you can go to Palma de Mallorca.
Okay.
The palm trees. The palm trees.
Okay.
This is Palma. We went from Italian, which I speak a little Italian, to Spanish, which I don't speak any Spanish, which is kind of ironic in the United States where I should actually speak more Spanish than Italian, but
that's fair.
If this is not South Philly.
Mallorca, they speak Spanish, right? Or did they
yeah, Mallorca, Spain. It's Spain. That's a church. No, that is a church. I don't know why it looks like something else.
It looks like a church.
It's a church. It's a church in Mallorca. I know that much. And it was just they had a funny chandelier. And now we're going to Sicily. We're going back to Sicily. This is Taormina. Okay. And this is a giant amphitheater. I thought it was a cool picture. Looking out over, and it's where they would do plays and stuff. And literally, it's just there.
That's all the pictures I got. That's
there we go. I mean, they're on a good high note. Yeah,
we did. We got through your travel slides.
There we go.
We sat and watched your slideshow.
I love this though. Like so the pictures that you took are really interesting because you're kind of like, this is a cool photo of this thing that I want to see again. You seem to really enjoy the architecture. You seem to really enjoy sort of the spaces that are created in here.
I like old shit. I like old shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the one thing I would say, like, what's the best thing? I'm gonna steal a little bit out of your playbook because I really like this, but I meant to do it anyway. What's the best thing about the travel that you've done?
It's freeing. It's just fun. You're not tied down. You're just gallivanting around. You make a fool of yourself. Hopefully you'll end up in jail in a foreign country. But if you make a fool of yourself, I mean, I managed, when in college, I managed to not fall into a Venetian canal, which is amazing. The amount of drinking I did. And I always found my way home at night, which is I was actually better drunk navigating Venice than I was sober. Because you just stumble around Venice, you're going to find your way back. But if you think about it, you go up a street and you say, go up, like, where's this piazza? And they're like, it's up there, make a right. You get up there, there's 3 bridges to the right to 3 different islands. You don't use a map in Venice, just literally just walk. I went out, I told my professor, I'm like, I'll be back in time for class. Our classes were in the lobby of the hotel. And I said, I'll be back in an hour. He's like, no, you won't. You're going to totally miss class. He said, go have fun, but don't tell me you're going to make class, because you're not going to make class. Sure enough, 4 hours later, I stumble in, and I'm like, yeah, I need to go take a nap. Oh, my feet were killing me. The shoes were not made for walking.
I can imagine. That is, yeah. Well, okay, so maybe that leads me to my next question. What's the worst thing about the travel that you've done?
Honestly, the pickpocketing.
Oh, interesting.
And shit disappearing. Like, I got swindled out of €5 because some guy was helping me find a tube to put package tube to put something I bought on the street, and they somehow I gave him 2, and somehow he got 5. I don't know. But it's not the worst thing. I mean, like, money just disappears randomly. You just don't leave it in your hotel room. It will just disappear.
Interesting. Okay.
But here, in the United States, it's a whole different story of the crime. There, it's all pickpocketing and stuff like that. It's like,
yeah. I mean, I'd almost rather deal with pickpocketing than some of the stuff we have here. But that's, to your point, that's kind of another conversation for another day.
Yeah, we'll leave it alone. Yeah,
that's for the politics podcast,
right? Like, genuinely curious, where would you say the pickpocketing was the worst out of the?
Napoli. Naples.
Really?
Oh, it's the worst.
Really interesting.
Oh my God, you have your hand on your butt if you're stupid enough to put your wallet in your back pocket, which you don't do.
Put your stuff in
you
your
front pocket, or you shove everything you want under your
girls, please. Jeez.
No, but you put everything in your money belt under your shirt. You shove a few euros in your pocket. So then if you lose that, you still got more under your shirt. But keep all your important documents with you at all times.
Right.
It gets a little sweaty. Your passport starts to smell after a while, but
I'm with you on all of those points, though. Like, keeping your stuff under your shirt is a big deal. It's a little harder sometimes.
It's not comfortable.
I will say, from the women's side of things. I mean, from the men's side, sure, it might be like chafing as well. But like on the women's side, like sometimes our clothing is not really conducive to keeping stuff underneath it. It can be really form fitting. But as best you can, like, do wear something loose anyway, because you're going to get bloated when you're walking around. So
you're not trying to impress anybody. Just go have fun.
Right. Keep your docs. To your point about keeping your passport on you, like, absolutely do not leave that stuff in your hotel room.
It will disappear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can for sure. And then the backpacks and stuff. People always feel silly when you've got your backpack on the front, but you walk around
in the front. And don't fall asleep on the metro going into Rome.
No.
Oh my God, no.
Don't fall asleep on the train, because you will lose your backpack. It didn't happen to me, but my wife kept on elbowing me because we get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get into Rome so we can make it back before the boat leaves. And I kept on falling asleep, and she kept on elbowing me. I had a bruise on the side of me after that.
Ooh.
She was like elbowing me. Like, wake up.
She looks feisty.
Yeah.
She'll take you down, dude. Yeah, I can tell already.
She's tough.
She'll kill a whole man.
She's a tough one. Yeah.
I love it. Well, any other food for thought? Any other wisdom you'd like to leave us with for your travel?
Italian restaurants in Poland. If you don't want to eat weird shit, go to Italian restaurants, because everyone knows Italian menu. I mean, like, you can read the Italian the menu, because in the United States, you won't be able to read what it's in it, but polo is chicken.
Okay.
Everywhere, polo is chicken. Just know what polo is. You can have chicken.
Yeah.
It's safe. It's a safe place. In places you don't understand, and you can read the language a little bit, they're gonna have at least the top parts be at least what the Italian saying is, and then it's gonna be all in Polish describing what it is. But polo is something.
One thing I always tell people is, no matter where you travel, no matter how intimidated you are, you will never starve. You will always find a way to eat.
You might get food poisoning.
You might, but the likelihood
if you eat you order something, or I want to say food poisoning, you might eat something that your body doesn't agree with, because you did not know you were just eating land snail.
We've all had the experience.
It wasn't escargot, it was land snail.
I had some.
It was a big MF snail.
Oh, that's
it was delicious, but it was ugly.
You didn't know you were. Yeah, no. There's.
I know it came out. I figured it was snail, but then I looked it up later. It was called the land snail.
You may be interested to know this. I have written an article for TripBee called "How to Eat While Traveling Without Losing Your Lunch." So if you would like to check that out for some further facts and tips and tricks for how to avoid some unpleasantness when you're traveling abroad. And I will say, I've had my fair share. I do try to make sure that I'm eating local as much as possible. But when that fails, and that has failed me on a couple occasions, there's almost always a KFC. There's almost always a McDonald's. There's almost, even if you don't eat it in the States, which I don't really eat McDonald's, but like if I have to while I'm abroad, just because I need you know what you're getting. And honestly,
usually
you'll get some new flavors, because they do different things abroad. Like you can try, I say try American fast food abroad, because it's not the same. It
is not the same. And stay away from the beef in England, because you get mad. Isn't it mad cow or hoof and mouth? You don't want to eat the beef over there, I think. I don't know if it's still a thing. It was 11 years ago. So.
Oh, I don't know. They might import now. I have no idea. Yeah. All right. Well, sir, this has been a pleasure. This has been delightful. I'm so happy we did this.
Great first interview.
Yes, thank you. Oh my God, the pictures
have fun editing this.
I will. I
should be a good time
because you know what? I'm going to give that.
She's going to hand it off to me.
Yeah, she's gonna have a great time with it. It's gonna be Jim's thing.
Ta-da! All right.
Sorry, pay me the big bucks.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Well, with that, we shall. I think. Let's see if I can find the music. If I can do the thing. Where did it go? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. Ah, there we go. All right. Well, this has been the TripBee podcast. We've been talking to Mr. Seth Goldstein about his travel experiences and living and loving and enjoying all of these things. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. This has been great.
Fine, I appreciate this. Yeah.
Do this again. We'll have maybe you and Meredith.
We'll polish it up a little bit, and then we'll do a follow up on it. And,
we'll talk about the other places. Meredith spent a semester abroad in Australia, so we can talk about that.
I need to hear about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. Yeah. Quick pitch. Where's everyone find you?
Find me GoldsteinMedia.com. Find me over at EntrepreneursEnigma.com. Excellent. And this is for Seth Goldstein. Usually it's me.
Or it's the investor.
yeah, exactly. You remember that. There's an investor, a much more rich Seth Goldstein out there, but Seth M. Goldstein will get me. So.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you, Seth. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
See you later. See you abroad.